Hey everyone, it's Tim the Dart Man, back with week number 7 of our NFL picks. So, how are we doing after 6 weeks? 63 and 29. Pretty darn good. I was 11 and 4 last week, including the big upset, the Falcons over the Bills. Do we have some upsets in line for this week? Absolutely, and I'll let you know about them as soon as we get to that line on the spreadsheet. So, the first game this week, the Steelers at the Bengals. Interesting game. Very interesting game because they're playing at the Bengals, and you expect the Bengals to win a game, here and there. Steelers coming off a win, not a great game, but a game nonetheless. But I think this week what you're going to see is the Steelers pull it off 20-14 over the Bengals at home. Sorry, Bengals. Next game, the Rams at the Jaguars. Very interesting game indeed. Again, similar situation where the Jaguars are underdogs, but they are playing at home, so something to be said there about that. Rams coming into Florida. Now, it's not as hot here as it has been, but heat may be a factor. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the Jaguars on this one, 27-21 over the Rams. Next game, Saints at the Bears. Well, what can I say about the Bears? They won last week, and good for them. Good for them. And they are playing at home against the Saints, and the Saints are just not the Saints of old, unfortunately. So I think in this case, going to be fairly clear-cut. It's going to be the Bears over the Saints by a touchdown, 21-14. Next game, Dolphins at the Browns. Now, I kind of thought about this one just a little bit because the Dolphins aren't playing the greatest football. The Browns are certainly not playing the greatest football. And the Browns, again, playing at home this week. So I thought, could the Dolphins lose to the Browns? Well, I guess what we've seen so far this year in the NFL is anybody can lose to anybody. But I think in this case, the Dolphins are going to pull it out. Dolphins 24, Browns 17. The next game, the Raiders at the Chiefs. Now, do I really want to pick against the Chiefs and say, hey, they're at home this week, but it's going to be a major upset. The Raiders are going to beat them? I don't think that I will. I think what I'll do instead, 121. I think what I'll do instead is pick the favorites, the Chiefs, and I'm going to say it's going to be 34-21 over the Raiders. I think from this point out, you're going to see the Raiders playing a lot better football. So, but not enough to beat the Chiefs at home. Next game after that is going to be the Eagles at the Vikings. Now, I got to tell you, even up to this point in time, right now, I waffle back and forth on this game because the Eagles are just not playing great football. I think they have some issues in the locker room, and they're playing at home. They're playing at the Vikings' home. So I'm kind of thinking, maybe the Vikings are going to pull this out. But what I want to do is I'm going to say no. The Eagles are going to pull it out. It's going to be 28-27 Eagles over the Vikings. And then the next game, Panthers at the Jets. So, the poor Jets, what can you say about them? Better luck next year, maybe you can say that. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot going in their favor. And I think what you're going to see is another loss to the Jets. Unfortunately for you New York fans, you're going to see the Panthers 21, Jets 10. Sorry, Jets. Next game, Patriots at the Titans, and the Patriots are going to win this game, and the Titans really don't stand a chance. Now, how many times have I said this, and there have been an upset? It's not going to be this week. Patriots are going in, they're going to win 30-14 over the Titans. That's all there is to say about it. Next game, Giants at the Broncos. Well, Giants at the Broncos. Is this my upset of the week? I don't know if it's the upset of the week, but it is going to be an upset, in my view. I think what we're going to see here is the G-Men go in here and beat the Broncos at home. It's going to be one of those games. It's going to be the Giants 28, the Broncos 24. You heard it here first. Giants will beat the Broncos at home. Next game, Colts at the Chargers. You know, there's a lot of good games. And I think the Colts at the Chargers is going to be another one of those really good games. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see a back and forth, probably last possession type game. And I don't know what the heck it was with those guys. Last possession type game. And I think what you're going to see is the Chargers pull it out over the Colts, 28-21. On to the next game. Packers at the Cardinals. Now, the Packers, I do believe, will win this game fairly easily. But the Cardinals, you know, they're kind of due for a good game. They haven't been playing a lot of good football. And they do have some good football players. So, what do you have to say about that? I don't know. I don't think the Cardinals have what it takes to beat the Packers, and I don't think it'll be close. I think what you're looking at is 35-20 Packers over the Cardinals. Sorry, Cardinals. Packers are way too much of a football team for you. Next game. Very interesting game. Commanders at the Cowboys. Now, this is a game, divisional matchup, and I think what you're going to see is an excellent football game here. Neither team is quite playing up to their potential. The Cowboys have played pretty crappy as of late. But I think what you're going to see here is the Cowboys do just enough to win the game. I'm thinking about Cowboys 28, Commanders 24. And the next game, Falcons at the 49ers. Very interesting game. Okay, remember last week, the Falcons beat the Bills. And that was a major upset. Can they go to San Francisco, beat the 49ers at home after kind of a real big upset, big adrenaline rush from beating the Bills last week? Here's what I say. They will go in to San Francisco. They will beat the 49ers. We're talking 31-24, touchdown, Falcons over the 49ers. That'll be a fun game. All right, Monday night game. Here's a game we've all been looking for, right? Buccaneers against the Lions. Buccaneers are traveling to Detroit. They're going to play the Lions at home. The Lions are missing a couple of their ends, so defensive ends. So this could be interesting. It really could. Buccaneers are missing a lot of their wide receivers. You know, will they get Mike Evans back this week? It's hard to say at this point. But here's what I will say. The Buccaneers are too well-balanced of a team, especially the way they've been playing all season long. It really doesn't matter which pawn you put into which place on the board. The Buccaneers seem to find a way to win the game. So I think it's going to be the same this week. You're going to see a close game. I say Buccaneers 34, Lions 31. Technically, it is an upset. I think the Lions are favored by 4.5, 5.5, somewhere along there. But the Buccaneers will take this game. Buccaneers will be 6-1 after this game, which is pretty nice. And then the last game of the week, the Texans at the Seahawks. So, again, the Seahawks at home is going to be the advantage that they need to really win this game. And I think it's going to be interesting. I think you're going to see a fun game. Texans have a great quarterback, right? But I don't think they have what it takes to go into Seattle, a really tough place to play as a visiting team, and beat the Seahawks. So I'm going to say Seahawks 28, Texans 21, and those are my picks for the week. So remember, 63 and 29, way above all those guys on the NFL Network. And I'm proud of that. But let's see how we make out this week. Let's see if we can get that up to, say, maybe 75 next week. That would be nice. Tim the Dart Man, let me know your picks. Let me know what you adamantly disagree with and what you think I got right. Thanks, guys.